All right. Hey, everyone. It's Chris and Dave with Old Guys Rip 2. And today we're going to be talking about the Yes Pyzel, which is actually a collaboration between a snowboard company and a surf company. So Pyzel has been shaping surfboards for decades, and he's a legend shaper. His tagline is surfboards built by surfers. So no doubt, Yes collaborated with him to make this snowboards built by surfers, which created a really cool snowboard. So I think we're excited to talk with you about it. So Dave, let me ask you, what drew you to this board?
Well, I was able to review the Yes work last year. Excited to review anything in their line. And, this one, they partnered with an artist who designed the graphics. And, it's visually stunning. And, turned out to be a really incredible snowboard. What did you think of it?
Along the same lines as you, I thought this was just a really cool board to look at. The top sheet's a mixture of matte and gloss. The bottom is just really artistic, kind of looks like an 80s watercolor in there too, so I really love that. So I rode this board all around Colorado for quite a while. Took it through the park, the pipe, got into some POW on groomers. How about you? Where did you ride it?
I rode it in Idaho, Wyoming, and a little bit in Utah. And not much of a park guy myself, but I did run through the park a little bit. But I was able to get this out in like some POW and some groomers and things like that. And man, this board just shined on all of them.
Yeah, I agree. There probably were other boards that I would ride in the park and the pipe. But I think this board excelled as an all mountain board. So I really enjoyed riding it there too. So let's talk about the flex and dampness. It's a little bit of a stiffer board, but it's pretty damp, kind of on the mid end of that too. I thought it felt really good as far as that goes. How did it work for you?
I would agree with that it's definitely on the stiffer side, but I think I rode the 164 wide, so it was a big board, but being camber, like it still had plenty of pop, and it was pretty quick edge to edge, and the mid bite definitely helps on a board like that. Like it carves like crazy. What did you think of the tapered mid bite, and how did it work for you?
Yeah, I agree with everything there too. I think the camber definitely helped out in those areas too. And the tapered mid bite is really cool. It's neat to see how it comes in between the inserts and then kind of comes out for that tapered section at the back of the board. I thought it really helped with long drawn out carves. I kind of wanted a little bit more on the quick edge to edge carves, but everything on this board was a lot of fun to ride in. I can nitpick a lot of things, but I really enjoyed the tapered mid bite. Let's talk a little bit about the materials in this. So it doesn't have 100% centered base, but it is a centered spec base. I didn't have any problems with it, even though it might not be as hard of a base. What did you feel that base material meant for you? Would you recommend this to someone if they really wanted a centered base?
I think if you're somebody that's like, maybe doing like border cross or something like that, this probably is not the board for you. But your everyday resort rider, you won't have any problems with this base. It's fast. It holds wax well. There would be no reason not to consider this board.
I agree. I even hit some stumps early season in some POW and didn't really have any issues with the base material at all. It cleaned up really well. With that said too, then we kind of talked about it, but where does this board fit in your quiver, and what kind of conditions would you want to ride it in?
There wasn't really any conditions where I didn't like this board. The 164 wide, like it floats really well in powder. It does have like the slamback inserts. So for those really deep days, you can always like step that thing back and get a little bit more float and, a little bit more back seat, and it also uses their weightless core. So being a big board, it actually wasn't all that heavy. Yeah, there's no place I didn't like this board. What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, there probably be other boards that I would bring into the park and the pipe if I was just riding that. But for an all-mountain charger, I would completely ride this board everywhere. I really loved it in POW. I didn't use the slamback inserts. I kind of kept my centered stance, but it was great. It was super playful in powder, fun to make big swooping carves. It can hit a rail. It can take it on the jumps. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good board all the way around for an all-mountain rider. Overall, I think we like this board. Who do you think this board is geared towards?
I would say that this is an intermediate to an advanced board. Being camber and the mid bite, I think would be a little bit much for a beginner. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree. I definitely think this is geared towards someone on the upper levels of the intermediate rider to the advanced rider that really wants to have a board that they can use anywhere on the mountain and is going to get into some deeper pow days too. I was riding the 155 wide, and that's my normal kind of like park setup, and it worked out well. So I think you can size up or size down with this board too.
And I think we should note that next year this board becomes the all out. And if you're looking for something maybe a little bit more forgiving and beginner friendly, they also have the all in, which is just kind of a dumbed down version of the Pyzel.
It's a great call. It's nice to see that this board is staying in the lineup, even if it's not in the collaboration. I think Yes did a really good job with it. Awesome. Well, there you have it, everyone. The Yes Pyzel. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. For more product reviews, visit oldguysrip2.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more video reviews.